For me, my biggest concern when I'm looking out over the next few decades, my biggest concern is not in addressing the gaps of women in boardrooms or gaps in women leadership at the top of the executive layer. Where I'm really concerned about is how do we get more women and girls into STEM, right? Into science, technology, engineering and mathematics, because this is what's going to drive the future. And unless we have more women taking part in creating the future and actually driving the future forward, we're going to have a world where women will not be active participants in that conversation. And so I think it's really important that we encourage women and girls to participate from a very young age into STEM, and also to keep them to the extent that we can in those fields and professions. I think the most important thing is, for me, is to recognize that the world is what we create. Right? And we have a lot of potential and opportunity to create the world that we want. And the best way of predicting the future is to actually invent it yourself. So why not take the control into your own hands and be a part of that creative process? And I think there's a huge amount of potential and opportunity for young women and men to, take part in really fundamental science, because the world of the future is going to be driven by these pillars. There is so much disruption that's happening in the world today that we've got to recognize that the biggest drivers of change in the future is going to fundamentally be shaped by science and technology. And unless we invest a lot of time and energy and effort into these areas, we won't have the big part to play in creating the future that we want. So I think that's the most important thing, is to remember that.